The HP latex printers, that has like really opened things up as far as like the possibilities of making more custom signs.
Instead of sending it to a company, it'll take, weeks, 2 weeks. Right now, we can just do it today and have it ready.
Life happens. An accident that takes out a stop sign. These guys have to go out there in windy conditions when it's super hot, 110 degrees out there. They have to be there to replace the sign.
There's something special about signs, in my opinion, because signs last longer. I've been able to make the sign on the computer, print it out, make it here on the table, go out in the field and put it in the ground. And then as I'm driving by, I can tell my daughter, I made that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Today we are celebrating the installation of a 1923 Ford Model T here at the San Bernardino County Museum. It was donated by Dr. Herbert Fisher and the Fisher family. This car really reflects the development of the car culture in Southern California and really all of America, and it reflects the development of the middle class. The Model T opened up access to travel for most Americans. This car specifically was used in the area in agriculture for the last 70 years.
It's a 1923 Model T roadster pickup. With our roots, there's 4 generations of us that are from San Bernardino, and I was always very happy to share it with the community.
So because of the connection between our board chair and Dr. Fisher, after meeting with David and some of his staff, he decided to be gracious and give the Model T to the museum here.
The vehicle that has been donated to the County of San Bernardino Museum is here at Fleet because we are going to get it prepped to be able to have it as a display within the museum. And so some of the things we do is drain the fuels, get the electrical system ready so that people can look at it, and there's no dangers of any fuels or any type of oils that would leak onto the museum floor.
These are drastically different than modern vehicles, so it does take us a little bit of research. I mean, this vehicle is 102 years old.
Obviously, the Model T through history has been a sign of progression, but this car tells the story of Redlands, San Bernardino in 3 lifetimes, essentially.
It was owned by an orange grove grower in Redlands who was a customer of my father's retail flower nursery, Flowerland, in San Bernardino, which started in 1947. In 1950, my father convinced the orange grove grower to sell him the car for $50.
And then it was a delivery truck for the Flowerland nursery.
It's kind of interesting because we lived at the nursery and we've been taking care of the car since.
So for some of that time, it sat in a garage, but for much of that time, Dr. Fisher was restoring the car to its perfect mint condition that it's in today. He had it in parades, he had it in celebrations.
So I gave some thought to where it should go, and when I found out about the museum, I felt like couldn't be a better place for it.
I think the addition of this Model T to the collection, especially here in history and here in the citrus industry exhibit, furthers the collection that the museum already has. I think it further helps to tell the story of not only agriculture but citrus, and just the connection between the Fisher family, who have been longtime residents of our county, to the museum. It's just a wonderful match made in heaven.
And now we get 80,000 visitors a year who are going to be able to enjoy it.
Today we are at the newly completed Birch Creek Bridge in Oak Glen. This project demonstrates the county commitment to disaster preparedness and disaster response. When Tropical Storm Hillary came through, it completely inundated this creek and destroyed the bridge.
The prior bridge crossing was a smaller 12x6 box culvert, which was heavily damaged by large boulders that came down the burn scar area. Our engineering department put together a quick project to replace the destroyed structure with two 10x10 precast boxes.
I'm extremely proud of our crews and our engineering teams for finding an innovative solution to replacing and repairing this bridge.
These two precast boxes tremendously improve the ability of water and debris to flow underneath the roadway. The project started in mid-September, and we're standing here now on the brand new bridge, which has been opened prior to Thanksgiving.
So often county projects get held up during design, or because of environmental concerns or material lead time. And this project, we were able to complete it in record time.
We have been cleaning channels and installing mitigation measures like K-Rail in preparation for the upcoming winter season. We have cameras in place to monitor the area remotely and have pre-positioned barricades and equipment to close down roads quickly and begin the cleanup process as soon as the storm is over.
With the reopening of this road, visitors and residents now have full access to their homes and local businesses.
Disaster can strike at any moment. Whether it's a winter snowstorm, summer wildfire, or an earthquake, being ready is our best line of defense. San Bernardino County knows that we're stronger together, so we're asking you to prepare with us. Visit prepare.sbcounty.gov to equip yourself with knowledge. Sign up for emergency alerts or download our Ready SB County app. Learn how to create a family plan, assemble an emergency kit, and more. Preparedness is a responsibility we all share, and preparedness starts here.
Do you own a property in San Bernardino County? You may be owed a property tax refund. To find out if you have a refund, please visit the ATC website at sbcountyatc.gov. On the left side of the website, click Unclaimed Tax Refund Search. You can search for an unclaimed property tax refund by parcel number or street address. For example, if your address is 123 Palm Street, only enter 123 Palm in the search bar. There is no need to enter street, avenue, lane, or any other portion of your address. If you have an unclaimed refund, the bill number, parcel number, citus address, refund amount, and a link to the form will appear on screen. If you don't have a refund, you'll be notified of that as well. To request a claim form, click Form on the left-hand side of the screen, and the refund information will show on the next screen. If the mailing address is correct, click Yes and enter your name, email address, and phone number. If the mailing address is not correct, click No and complete the form, including where you want the form to be mailed. Your request will be processed in the order it was received, and the appropriate claim form will be mailed to the address provided. If you have any questions, please call 909-382-3090.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid. It's being made in somebody's garage or their home, not controlled. It's 50 times more powerful than heroin and 100 times more powerful than morphine.
Stop the Void is a California nonprofit corporation dedicated to educating and raising awareness in our communities about the scourge of fentanyl. We started this organization because I lost my own son, Daniel Puerta, who was only 16 and a half years old when he passed away due to fentanyl poisoning. Due to the stigma of addiction and overdose, most parents feel that this could never happen to them, and I'm truly sorry, but it can.
San Bernardino County started with the Fentanyl Doesn't Care, But We Do campaign. Fentanyl doesn't care if you're a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, a co-worker, a friend. It just doesn't care. But we do in the county of San Bernardino, and that's why we created this campaign to bring awareness to the community.
San Bernardino County and Stop the Void have partnered together. Come to San Bernardino County website, Department of Behavioral Health, look at all the resources that they have, and make sure that you speak to your children. Numbers just came out for 2022, and it's north of 109,800 drug deaths in the United States. Roughly 77% of all of those drug deaths were due to fentanyl. This is why this message and this campaign is so, so important. If you think that it can't happen to you, think twice.
Good morning. I would like to call our meeting to order and thank you all for joining us here today. This morning, I have the pleasure of introducing our special guest for our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance. I have asked Gary Wingert, the president and CEO of Forest Home in Southern California, to join us. He has led there for 17 years, and Forest Home is up in the Forest Falls area. It is a Christian camp where I myself grew up going to summer camps, family camps, mother-daughter camps. And Gary, in his 17 years, has done a fantastic job up there. And it is, in addition to all of those, are retreats for all kinds of different schools and church families. And Gary grew up in Southern California. His previous experience included leadership positions at Amazon, Hitachi Consulting, Accenture, World Vision, and Trinity EV Free Church. He and his wife are celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary this May, and they have 2 children in college at Biola University. An interesting fun fact that I learned about Gary is that his dad served as the chief probation officer here for the county, and he's been retired for about 16 years. Yeah, so interesting to keep it all in the county family. So Gary, thank you very much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Supervisor Rao. And thank you, board, for allowing me to be here, and thank you for all you do. I'm constantly amazed at the communication responses and the way you serve this county so diligently. I'm sure it's a lot of energy, and we're all very grateful. So let me go ahead and pray for us. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude for the opportunity to serve this community. You're the source of all wisdom, justice, and truth, and we acknowledge that all authority is established by you. And we humbly ask for your presence in this meeting today, guiding every conversation, decision, and action. Lord, I pray that our county supervisors and leaders, I pray for them, give them discernment, integrity, and a spirit of unity as they make decisions that impact the lives of those they serve. May their deliberations be marked by integrity, respect, and a deep desire to uphold what is right in your eyes. Let every policy and decision reflect justice, righteousness, and a commitment to the well-being of all. And Father, we lift up the people of this county, families, workers, first responders, business owners, and every individual who calls this place home. We ask for your protection and provision over them. Bless this county with peace, prosperity, and a renewed sense of unity. And we also pray for those who are struggling, the poor, the sick, the lonely, and those burdened with anxiety and despair. Lord, you are our healer, our provider, and our refuge. May we as a community reflect your love by caring for those in need and lifting up the weary. Let our hearts be softened towards our neighbors, and may we be reminded that every person is made in your image, valuable in your sight. And most of all, Lord, we pray that your name would be glorified in this place. May we never forget that true hope is found in Jesus Christ, the one who brings light into darkness, peace into chaos, and salvation to all who call upon his name. May your will be done in this meeting and in the decisions made here today. We trust all this to you in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will now move on to our memorial adjournments. Vice Chair Baca.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I do have one adjourned in memory, and that is for Juanita Jury of Rialto. She was 80 years of age. She passed on February 10th. She was the wife of the late Al Jury, who just, we adjourned in memory of him just maybe a few months before. He was the NFL referee, but I know that, Juanita has a lot of family in the Rialto and San Bernardino community. They're very proud of their children and grandchildren, and our heart goes out to the Jury family. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Armendariz. Supervisor Hagman. All right, and I have 2 this morning. Out of Big Bear, Michael Fulmer, who was the Calvary Church pastor, passed away unexpectedly. We offer our condolences to his family. And then Kenneth Willis, who is Chief Willis out of Big Bear. His father also passed away unexpectedly. So we adjourn in their memory today. And with that, we have 2 special presentations. So if my colleagues will please join me in the well. We have a unique duo today. Julie, will you come up and join us first, please? Right in the middle.
It balances out.
So this morning, I would like to recognize Julie Waite, who is retiring after 36 years with the county. Julie served in multiple departments over the course of her career in public service, including probation, accounting, prior to its consolidation to central collections. She has spent the past 16 years with the Office of the Auditor Controller, Treasurer, Tax Collector. And we thank you for your leadership and dedication and all the years of service to the county, and happy retirement. Want to say a few words? Want to say a few words? Oh, come on.
I just want to say that I'm very thankful to the County of San Bernardino for giving me a career, a job for these last 36 years, able to pay the bills, spend time with my family, and just have a good life. And it's been fantastic for the most part. No, it's been lovely. It's a job, you know.
All right, let's smile. For the record, I tried to talk you out of it.
What, retiring?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. No, you, 36 years is enough. I'm good.
Congratulations.
Thank
Would you
you.
like to have your team come up and take a photo with the entire team that you brought? Okay.
That's you guys. Well, yeah.
Stan, you too.
Revenue recovery. Come on.
Usually we have the spouses come up. Stan, would you like to join for this photo as well?
And then can I do one with just with the daughter and?
Oh,
sister?
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
okay?
of course.
Okay.
For
Send a bill.
36 years,
Send
you
a
get
bill
to
to
decide.
Sonia. She'll see if it.
Here, you hold this. But I want you. All right, now you want the family?
And
Okay.
Nancy could come over, yes.
Sure.
Oh, just real quick, I did want to say something else. My dad worked for the county, my sister worked for the county, my son-in-law works for the county, and my nephew works for the county. So it's kind of, oh, and him. He's still employed, yes, yes. So it's been kind of a family thing.
Congratulations. I'm going to keep this up here because I'm going to bring you back up for photo. Stan, don't go far. Yes. Yes, please. All right. So next we have. Oh. Next we have Stan Waite, who is retiring after 25 years of service to the county. He began his career as an automated systems technician with the Sheriff's Department and was later promoted to systems support analyst with the Innovation and Technology Department. And we are sad to see you both go. We're excited for you in the next adventure, but we just all wanted to say thank you for your years of service.
Oh, thank you. Well, no, yes, that's true. And Dawn did ask me to stay on. She wanted me to stay, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't. So if my wife's going, I'm going. So, I chose not to. But I do want to thank, the county's been great to me. It's been a wonderful journey, and I am looking forward to the rest of my journey with my wife that we're going to have for the rest of our lives together. So, but thank you as a county. I appreciate it. So thanks. Thank you, Dawn.
Absolutely. You want to have the team come up?
Yeah. ITD.
ITD team, will you join us up here for a photo, please? Here, you hold this. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Julie, will you come back up for one last photo of you and Stan together, please? Put you in the middle. All right.
Oh, and today's Stan's birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Stan. Congratulations to you both, and thank you very much for. All right, reports from our county council. Tom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are no reportable items from closed session.
And reports from our CEO, Luther.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Nothing to report this morning.
All right, our individual board member comments. Supervisor Vice Chair Baca.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just today is Government Day 2025. I want to welcome the 3 school districts that are here, the Rialto Unified School District, San Bernardino City Unified School District, and the Colton Joint Unified School District. And this came about actually when I was in high school back in the 80s. The Board of Supervisors at that time used to have a government day where they would bring students in from high school and expose them to county government. And I thought it was a good idea that we revive it. This is actually the second year that we've done it. We did it last year. So the goal is to expose our students to what a board meeting looks like, have a conversation about what goes on and what we do, and then we want to expose them to some of our county departments. Some of the departments that will be talking to them today is Human Resources, the CAO's office, and then also Legislative Affairs to talk about how government agencies work together from the federal and state level. And I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting that we continue to send this message on. For us as Board of Supervisors, we're only going to be here a short period of time. At some point in time, we have to hand the baton off to leaders, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with our students today. So thank you for being here. Just want to acknowledge that from the West Valley Water District, General Manager John Thiel's here. He's in attendance at the board meeting to speak on an item a little bit later. A couple things just want to invite the community. So on March 14th at 6 p.m. at one of our county district parks, Kessler Park, we're having a grand opening. It's a $3.3 million investment that we've made into the Bloomington community to give them a Bloomington Dream Field. It's a state-of-the-art ball field. It's very excited. The Bloomington community is very, very excited about it. It's a great event, and actually we're going to have 2 former Dodgers there. Former Dodger Lee Lacy and former Dodger Steve Garvey are going to be in attendance on that day, so we're excited about that. Last week, we had the opportunity to have a faith-based roundtable with San Bernardino pastors here in this county building. I want to thank county staff and the Office of Homeless Services for participating in bringing those individuals together. And it made me realize that we have a lot of work to do in regards to homelessness, but more importantly, really educating our communities on what we're actually doing and the steps we're taking in homelessness and what is our role as a county. I think that's important. We continue to define that and educate our community. And one thing we were able to do this past month in honor of Black History Month, we honored 5 individuals from our community that are very active and just want to acknowledge them. Donna and Devone Martin from Joico, which is a nonprofit that does a lot of outreach. We have Pastor B.J. Sims, which is very active. His church is just up the street. Coach Darren Graham and Coach Eric Aubry, some of our local coaches from Bloomington and San Bernardino City. And then the last one from the city of Rialto was Vicki Davis. She's very active with nonprofits in the Rialto community. The last thing, just want to highlight some items that are on the agenda that are of significance to us. Item number 9 is an agreement with Arrowhead Regional Medical Center and Cal State San Bernardino for a physician assistant program. And this is significant because this really tries to encourage some of our local university students to become part of the physician assistant program and hopefully retain them locally. When we went through the list it's been a couple years we've been working on it. There was about 40 universities listed. None of them were in our community. And I thought it was important that we worked with our local university, Cal State, and just congratulations to Cal State University, and I want to thank Andrew Goldfrack for working diligently to make this happen. Item 15, this is a partnership with the West Valley Water District and our county to provide a West Valley District Phase 3 Bloomington Alleyway project, which will bring some infrastructure in the south area of Bloomington, which is considered the numbered streets. We're making a $1.52 million investment in conjunction with, a $3 million investment from West Valley to make sure that they get the infrastructure needed in South Bloomington. Item 41, one of the things we've done is our team, we've scoured the community and we looked at adding additional streetlights. This will add streetlights between the area of Lilac and Cactus in the city of Rialto on Easton Boulevard, which is a small county pocket in unincorporated Rialto. And then item 44, which is the El Rancho Verde Median Revitalization Project. So when the city of Rialto built, their new facility, they closed down the golf course. There's still a lot of golf course logos there, which are and median designs that are there that need to be upgraded. There's no longer a golf course. I think it's important that we build pride and community, build up that community to make sure it looks nice for our unincorporated Rialto residents. And that concludes my comments, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Armendariz.
Thank you, Chair. I want to start with, so the past couple weeks, we've taken an opportunity to visit with different offices of the county, and we were able to visit this week on tours. I want to take a moment to say thank you to Risk Management, the Office of Emergency Services, IHSS Public Authority, and Regional Parks Administration. Some people ask why I'm doing these visits. I want to have a better understanding of what we do as a county so that I can be better educated on decision making when I'm here at the dais. So I've taken the time to just kind of learn more about what they do and how they do it. And I just want to thank those who have participated and helped us, educated us, and allowed us to be partners with them. Second, we were able to hold a street vendor educational workshop in Rancho Cucamonga. We had about 50 people show up, where we had public health and code enforcement out there to help them understand what the permitting process would be. I want to take a special thanks to Nacho and Josh for all their support in making this happen. I also was able to participate in the State of the Region, Fontana State of the City, and the Black History Parade in Fontana. I want to make sure that I also not fail to mention a little shout out to our economic development group. We were at CSAC in the last 2 weeks, and they received the award. It's the Emperadores Award program, which is a program that targets Latino businesses and helps them to get a better understanding on how they can conduct business, and gives them some framework to help them to be entrepreneurs. And also want to take a moment just to invite everyone to our county community resource fair that we're going to have at Donde Park in Fontana on February 27th, and it's going to run from 10:30 to 12:30. I highly encourage everyone to be there. We're going to have many of our county services there to showcase things that the community may need, such as Narcan. We're going to have public health, mental health, and a variety of different organizations. So hopefully you can join us, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Hagman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And don't tell Paul this, but I feel lonely without him being in the corner today. So we'll start off with that. Yeah, exactly. I need my dunce hat or something on. First of all, we had a busy couple weeks as well. We want to have a shout out to City of Montclair. We're able to help get their new fire apparatus, helping our partner up for our cities keep public safety on the priority. I was honored to be the keynote speaker for the Greater Ontario Vision last week, and I'll be upcoming at the Upland Chamber on February 27th. Exciting with the help of Supervisor Armendariz and our economic development, and through our leadership of the chair, we brought in ZM Trucks, or ZM Motors, which is the world's largest producer of hydrogen fuel cell and electric medium and Class 8 vehicles, the big trucks. We stole them from Texas, and they'll be now, they're doing a grand opening in Fontana this Friday. So exciting to see manufacturers continue to move into San Bernardino County. We're going to be hosting a mobile pet vaccination and microchip clinic in the Chino Hills Community Center on February 28th. And we'll continue to pass out distinguished business awards to, the next one will be Ameri Sushi. We have agenda items to highlight. Is on item number 20 is agreement with Ontario International Airport for closed circuit TVs and control devices on jet bridges for increased safety and security. Item number 23 includes $153,000 in state grants for homeless funding to the city of Montclair. And item number 28 is sign a JPA with the cities of Ontario and Chino for the Animal Resource Center for Inland Empire, which will be serve the Weston communities for animal control and shelter services. And I will be sitting on that board of directors with Supervisor Armendariz as well. Ontario International Airport records its biggest single day of expansion of international services as Volaris adds 14 weekly flights, including Los Cabos. So if you want to plan that summer vacation to Cabo San Lucas, they'll be flying direct from Ontario beginning in July. So keep that on your horizon. And if you notice, I guess I'm getting old. I just got presented my 10-year pin from the CEO's office last week. So it's over a decade of service on the board. So I'm very proud to be here. And that's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to highlight our Public Defender's Office will be bringing a mobile defense program to Lucerne Valley on March 5th from 12:30 to 4 at the River's Edge Ranch. This event will provide free legal assistance such as record clearing services to help resolve outstanding legal matters and to remove barriers to employment. Several other county departments will also be in attendance, including Arrowhead Regional Medical Center, Behavioral Health, Child Support Services, Public Health, Human Resources, and our Transitional Assistance Department. The River's Edge Ranch will be offering a free shuttle to those services that will be coming and going from Lucerne Valley Market bus stop on Highway 18 throughout the event. And so I would like to thank them for their partnership and then all of the county departments that are involved in that. Had the opportunity to attend a Unity Home fundraiser out in Yucca Valley over the weekend. They deal with domestic violence and sheltering our vulnerable population that needs assistance escaping from domestic violence. So thank you to Unity Home and all that they do. And Lynna, agenda revisions, modifications to today's agenda.
Good morning, Chair. We have no changes for today.
Very good. This would be the time if any of our board members have conflicts of interest that they wish to disclose. All right, seeing none, our consent calendar today consists of items number 2 through 47. I have some members of the public wishing to speak. Do I have any board members wishing to pull an item for discussion or make comments? All right, we'll move on to public comment. Our first request to speak is Natalia Saka, followed by John Thiel.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Natalia Saka, and I am the Regional Policy Advocate for the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, known as CHIRLA. And I'm also a proud resident of the San Bernardino County for over 24 years. Our office is based in San Bernardino City, serving the entire Inland Empire. We are committed to protecting the rights and well-being of immigrant communities as well as refugee communities. And I am here in strong opposition of item 37, calling for the county accepting $662,000 from the U.S. Department of Justice State Criminal Alliance Assistance Program. While the county is choosing to accept federal funding to detain undocumented individuals, our communities continue to struggle with a severe lack of investment in affordable housing, mental health, and homelessness services. This decision not only sends the wrong message about our county's priorities, but also fails to make the necessary investments that would truly support and uplift our residents. Every tax dollar spent on incarceration is a tax dollar taken away from housing solutions that can strengthen our community. San Bernardino County has thousands of residents facing housing insecurity, including immigrants, working families, and vulnerable individuals who cannot afford rent. Instead of criminalizing immigrant communities, our county should prioritize affordable housing, rental assistance, and shelter programs. Accepting this award sends a message that our county values detention over dignity. I strongly urge the Board of Supervisors to reject this funding and redirect resources toward sustainable housing solutions that can uplift and strengthen our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. John Thiel, followed by Margaret Cashin.
Good morning. I'm John Thiel. I'm talking on behalf of consent item 15-1, and I'm the general manager with the West Valley Water District. We serve over 100,000 people in your service area, homes, schools, businesses, parks. We also supply water for firefighting. So it's a very valuable function for the area, of course. We're building a model public utility, and part of that is to work in collaboration with the county. And we've really been working hard to develop effective relationships and productive partnerships. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of those right now. We've been working with Supervisor Baca and Supervisor Armendariz very effectively. But today we have a specific project, and that's the Bloomington Waterline Project, a very important project for this underserved area. And the supervisor has agreed to, part of the discretionary funds, put up $1.52 million towards a $4 million plus project. So this will bring new water lines to this underserved area, replacing old water lines, small water lines that have no fire hydrants. So after this project is complete, later this year and early next year, this whole area will have more water, water for people, water for fire hydrants, water for fire suppression, which of course we've learned lately is so very important. So thank you to Supervisor Baca for your support of West Valley Water District and your constituents in this area for this valuable project.
And our last request on our consent calendar is Margaret Cashin.
Hi, good morning. Speaking on item 30, approve the joint exercise of powers agreement with the cities of Ontario and Chino for membership in the Animal Resource Center of the Inland Empire, which will provide both animal control and sheltering services effective upon execution until withdrawal by the county or terminated jointly by all member cities. Honestly, I don't really know what this involves, but I just wanted to highlight it and also say it seems like the county ships animals back and forth from one town to another. For example, Fontana and Rialto send their animals to City of San Bernardino. Highland goes to Devore. So it's, just a lot of shuffling of animals around. And then, I do think it's important that these cities themselves implement a TNVR program, which is trap, neuter, vaccinate, and release program for the cats. It's going to lessen the burden. So thank you.
Thank you very much. With
Agnew
that,
moves consent.
I have a motion from Supervisor Hagman and a second from Vice Chair Baca. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, the consent calendar passes unanimously with Supervisor Cook absent.
Thank you very much. We have one discussion item today on our calendar, and is item number 48, which is the proposed response to the 2024 Grand Jury Final Report. And I will turn it over to Luther.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my honor to have Crisanta Gonzalez, our Director of the Office of Emergency Services, come up and talk about this important item. The grand jury does great work in looking into and investigating certain, complaints they receive about things. And one of those was focused on the snowstorm from about 1.5 years ago. So we've gone through that report. Part of our responsibility is to provide follow-up to that. So that's what we're doing today, and Crisanta is about to present that. She'll go over some of the findings that were there and things that the Office of Emergency Services as well as the county is doing to improve. So, Crisanta, take it away.
Good morning.
Thank you, Luther. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to be here, Board of Supervisors and Chair Rao and Vice Chair Baca.
It is difficult to hear you. Maybe if that microphone comes a little closer.
Testing, good.
Better.
All right, thank you so much. So in February of 2023, San Bernardino County experienced a historic and unprecedented snowstorm, which left mountain communities isolated, emergency services strained, and residents in urgent need of assistance. This event tested San Bernardino County's preparedness, revealing critical challenges in public communication, agency coordination, and the Emergency Operations Center, or EOC's, ability to sustain a cohesive operating plan. Consequently, this matter came before the San Bernardino County Grand Jury, who conducted an independent evaluation of the county's emergency response. Their final report identified key areas for improvement. Next slide. These are some of the findings. The grand jury findings reinforce the focus of the Office of Emergency Services and county leadership in implementing critical reforms, ensuring stronger preparedness for future extreme weather events. There was a total of 7 findings. 6 of those focused on the Office of Emergency Services and things that we've already started to implement and continue to enforce. Next slide. These are the remaining 3 findings that the grand jury found. The county took action in the aftermath of the 2023 winter storm to enhance emergency preparedness. Some of those actions are enhanced snow removal capabilities by securing additional specialized equipment in the Department of Public Works to manage extreme conditions of snow greater than 8 feet. Launched a Preparedness Starts Here public information campaign. Specialized training for elected officials and county leadership has been implemented, with more classes in the next few months. Updating of the charter language to ensure the Disaster Council initiative is efficient and effective. This includes reviving the Citizens Core Group and implementing a student advisory group from local high schools. The Office of Emergency Services response included issuing a request for proposal for a qualified contractor to thoroughly evaluate the EOP and perform a gap analysis, which would include adding an annex for a snowstorm. Hired 2 emergency services officers who specialize in planning and training. Reestablished the state of California's integrated preparedness plan, which will review all of the annexes to the EOP and train to the county's EOP. Utilized 2024 incidents to work closely with county departments, state partners, and non-governmental organizations to review roles and responsibilities and establish after-action reports. Joint training exercises with OES, San Bernardino County Fire Protection District, and the Sheriff's Department. San Bernardino County Fire District has embedded a division chief within OES to streamline real-time communication and decision-making. Increased subscriptions to the telephone emergency notification system, and re-implemented the Department Emergency Operations Plan initiative, requiring each county department to maintain their plan for continuity of government and also to train to the county's EOP within OES. In conclusion, the 2023 snowstorm highlighted vulnerabilities, but it also provided a valuable learning opportunity. The county has transformed these lessons into actionable improvements, ensuring that the residents will receive faster, more effective emergency response services in the future. County leadership has demonstrated a strong commitment to enhancing emergency preparedness by providing resources to OES, which includes a significant increase to our ongoing budget, the approval of 10 new staff, thank you very much, and a significant one-time expenditures. By strengthening preparedness, coordination, and communication, the county is building a more resilient emergency management system that can withstand all future crises. I'd like to thank you for your time. Next slide. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? Vice Chair?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just a comment. Really want to thank the grand jury for bringing this to our attention, and thank Crisanta for her leadership on this issue. And one of the things that becomes very, very important is our line of communication with our first responders and our Office of Emergency Services. And I think as a result of this, our department has begun to grow. And then us as a county, I want to thank Luther and his leadership, realizing we do have to make more investments in the Office of Emergency Services. We have to continue to grow and get better. And I think a lesson learned, but continue to grow and get better. I mean, just face it, based on the geography of San Bernardino County, between the winds, the rains, the snow, the heat, and earthquakes. I mean, we just have a lot to deal with here, and I think we can't, do enough to be prepared. So I think we have to continue to make these investments and support OES, and I just want to say thank you for bringing this to light.
I'd like to thank the grand jury as well. I thought that their presentation and analysis of the snowstorm and the response was very thoughtful and thorough. I was excited that I knew that we had done an awful lot addressing their concerns even before we knew that they were their concerns, and that we still had room to grow, which is not surprising in an organization as big as we are. So just really appreciate that thoughtful and thorough analysis and bringing it to us in a way that is constructive and we can help partner to make things better for our residents and businesses. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so we need an actual motion to receive this as a formal response. I have a motion from Supervisor Hagman, a second from Vice Chair Baca.
2 speakers.
And 2 speakers before we vote.
Yes.
Carlo from Altaloma first, and then followed by Marilyn Navarro.
Hello. Good morning. I am formally addressing the egregious violations of my parental rights by CFS in Rancho Cucamonga.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, if I may, I apologize for interrupting you. This is on our response to the grand jury's report.
Yes, ma'am. This is part of the grand jury's report.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, I'm formally addressing the egregious violations of my parental rights at CFS, Rancho Cucamonga. Despite the allegations being dropped, my parental rights were unjustly stripped away, a clear violation of my constitutional rights. This reflects a broader pattern of misconduct within CFS, which has been exposed in the grand jury report 2023, revealing the agency's practice of falsifying allegations against parents and placing children in the homes of known abusers. During my efforts to address this injustice, I have met with Supervisor Ms. Sneed, who admitted to signing the social worker's recommendation without even reading it, and then shifting the blame onto the court for enacting the agency's recommendations. This is a direct violation of due process, as my rights, specifically my right to consent for my child's travel, were removed without fair consideration or legal justification. Beyond due process violations, I've also personally witnessed shocking lack of investigative effort and accountability within CFS. In front of Fontana PD, Christina Rodriguez openly admitted she did not conduct an investigation in my case. How can CFS make life-altering decisions about a child's welfare without even taking the basic step of investigating the facts? Additionally, Sarah Mock stated that CFS only investigates cases at a 40% level. What does that even mean? Are they saying that 60% of the information is ignored? That the agency only makes decisions based on less than half the evidence available? This gross lack of due diligence not only jeopardizes children's safety, but also leads to wrongful removal of children from innocent parents. I've personally experienced and witnessed biases within the agency. Ms. Gilbert openly stated women and mothers take precedence over fathers and men, and gender bias contradicts the principles of fairness and equal treatment under the law. Every parent, regardless of gender, should be evaluated based on the facts and evidence and not just prejudice. The actions of CFS are not isolated incidents. They represent a systematic failure that has led to San Bernardino County currently being sued by 5,800 kids for similar violations. While I deeply sympathize with those who have suffered true abuse, the integrity of the child welfare system collapses when social workers lie and enforce biased policies. This does not protect children, but puts them in greater danger by allowing real abusers to go unnoticed while innocent families are torn apart. The Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled that parents have a fundamental right to raise their children free from government interference unless it is clear and convincing evidence that they're of abuse or neglect. Yet CFS continues to ignore these legal protections, continuing to incomplete investigations and enforcing gender bias when making decisions that destroy families. I've escalated my concerns through every possible channel, yet I've received no assistance or resolution. CFS must be held accountable for its misconduct, bias, and failure to conduct proper investigations. The agency cannot continue to strip parents or myself, who was a special operations veteran, from falsehoods and discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Marilyn Navarro.
Thank you for letting me speak. Mine's pretty much on the same topic. I'm giving my testimony. Hi, my name is Marilyn Navarro. I am here to expose the reckless and unconstitutional actions of child support Child Family Services. The agency, without accountability, weaponized the Child Abuse Central Index and destroys the lives of many responsible parents while ignoring due process. After my rebellious teen daughter attacked me while intoxicated, CFS was alerted, and instead of conducting a thorough investigation, they rushed to judgment. Despite my full cooperation and overwhelming evidence of my daughter's ongoing behavioral issues, including police reports, school reports, CFS ignored the facts. They pressured me into placing her in an unstable home, threatening the refusal could lead to a court battle of risking my 6-year-old son. Then, without trial, without due process, and without a single piece of credible evidence against me, I was placed on the khaki list, like a secretive blacklist that destroys careers and reputation. My job offer with the LA County Child Juvenile Detention Center was suddenly at risk. To clear my name, I was forced to spend $10,000 in legal fees and money I should have never had to spend. Only after enduring financial and emotional devastation did CFS bother to review the police report, at this point, they admitted their mistake, but by then the damage was done. Even more outrageous, despite my daughter attacking me, CFS ended up ruling the case inconclusive. What message does this send to parents? The protection of ourselves and holding our children accountable is grounds for government interference. That a child's word, no matter how misleading, outweighs hard evidence. If CFS can strip away my rights without cause, then every parent in this system's at risk. This is not just my fight. It's a fight for every hardworking parent who has been blindsided by the agencies that wields unchecked powers. The Board of Supervisors must step in, implement real oversight before more innocent families are torn apart. The khaki list must not be used as a tool of intimidation, and CFS must be held accountable and not disregard due process. I have always believed in standing up for what is right. I'm not a perfect parent, but I am a good one. Yet I was treated like a criminal, thrown into a nightmare of fear, frustration, despair, and forced to fight a battle I should have never had to fight. The pain of falsely being accused, the helplessness of watching my life unravel, and the agony of knowing.
That's time.
Okay. Thank you very much. That is the last request that I have. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Chair Rowe. With that, item number 48 is passed unanimously with Supervisor Cook absent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, we will move on to general public comment, and these are for public speakers to come up and speak up to 3 minutes on items that are not being heard on today's agenda on any topic that the speaker wishes. And we have, first up, we have Jim Grigoli, who will be followed by Jane Hunt-Rubel.
Hello, Board. My name is Jim Grigoli. I'm the president of the San Bernardino County Firefighters. I'm here to thank the Board, Chairwoman Rao, Supervisor Baca, Supervisor Hagman, and Supervisor Armendariz, Supervisor Cook also, if he was here. But we have extended our contract for the firefighters, and it is imperative that we maintain the ability to recruit and retain our firefighters, and the Board has went above and beyond. I'd like to also thank Leo and his team at HR. They were very well, again, to work with, and I can't thank them enough. CEO Snoke, thank you again for your help, and last but not least, Chief Muncie and his team and the Fire District for making sure that the firefighters here are well represented. We will be locked in for 5 years, and I appreciate that. I also want to thank the Board for our ambulance operators. Today we operate 20 ambulances in our county, and they extended for 1 year on their contract, so I'd like to thank them there also. Last but not least, thank the Board for the recent purchase of the 10 fire engines. During our line and bridge fire, the ability to staff fire engines isn't because of the lack of personnel. It is because of the lack of equipment. And you will see that with the most recent fires in LA. Board's commitment to public safety should be, it should be recognized in our state that the leadership that we have here is so dynamic and moving forward to protect our public. We should all appreciate them for what they're doing. Last but not least, I'll be heading to, I've been doing this about 15 years, running firefighters, but I'll be heading to DC next week to politic for our money. I want the people to know of this county. Today, the fire district covers, well, obviously it's the largest county in the US, but we cover about 80% federal land. Out of that federal land, we run about 8,500 calls, and we don't receive a dime from the federal government for any of that. It costs the fire district about $15 million to run those 8,500 calls, and we don't receive a dime. If you look today at what's going on and the money where money is being spent at our federal government, and you ask your Congress people, we have 6 of them that serve our county, a simple $20 million of ongoing funds would make sure that the citizens here are protected, not only in your homes, but when you're driving through our areas of our county, the 15, the 40, the 395, when you go up to our mountains to go skiing, when you go out to our deserts. So I just want to thank the board again for your support.
Thank you very much. Jane Hunt-Rubel, who will be followed by Garth Pazant.
Thank you very much, County Fire. I love them, and I love the Sheriff Department. I was going to speak about something else, but this really concerns me about what's going on in Washington, D.C. Excuse me. I'm really upset about this. Like, they did away with practically every office there is, and it really affects the county. And I want to tell you, students, that I'm glad the county has this legislative, I get their budget, and I was turned on a 3 years ago to the fact that they have the legislative office, part of the county, which deals with state laws and federal. So this is really important that, everybody's got to get together and fight this, especially I'm an environmentalist, and it really hurts me when I hear every day about how our government workers and the IRS and everything, and it's insane. But people have got together and fight this. It's been making me sick, but I can't let that stop me because I love this county so much. And we're the best county, we're the largest, but we're also the most diverse county in biodiversity. And I just think we need to act out more of this county, protecting our rights here. So thank you very much.
Thank you much. Garth Pazant, who will be followed by Angela Hines.
Thank you, Garth Pazant, before the Honorable Board of Supervisors. Before all onlookers, Superior Court of California County of San Bernardino, in the matter of Joseph Moulton, petitioner for writ of habeas corpus, case number WHCSB 2400306. Order. File date, January 8th, 2025. Order denying petition for writ of habeas corpus file. Department S20, San Bernardino's Justice Center, Judge Gregory S. Tavel. The hearing of denial lasting minutes consisting of no counsel in the petitioner's behalf. The court allowed waiving petitioner's presence without petitioner's consent, no prompting of full investigation after reading the declarations in petitioner's behalf. Judge Tavel merely read the allegations against the petitioner and decided his order to deny the petition. I'm calling out to the respected Gavin Newsom. You appointed the above. Now I'm coming after you with a 602. Judge Gregory S. Tavel, appointed district attorney for San Bernardino by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, a known racist. Judge Tavel won the election for judge in the year 2022 without appearing on the ballot. Judge Tavel, a descendant of Spain, a majority of known racists, a plan to destroy Black America. Judge Gregory S. Tavel must go. District Attorney James Wong, if you do not reopen the case of Joseph Moulton and release him with benefit of $3 million a year relief, retroactive back to the years of detainment, conviction, and sentencing with 29 annual percentage rate interest along with the cost of living rate, I will summons the hand of Jehovah to periodically and methodically destroy nearly all of China. Then I will prosecute nearly all of Chinese Americans. Consult your demonic gods and ask who I am. The courts of San Bernardino, coupled with its killer police, the victims are the blacks, the whites, and the Mexicans. Whom are the above authorities working for? The Asiatic Buddhists and the Roman Catholic of Spain. Wake up.
Angela Hines, who will be followed by Margaret Cashin.
I am here before you today because I am exceedingly disturbed about the direction our country is heading under Mr. Trump. I am concerned about his administration's aggressive dismantling of critical federal agencies, the weaponization of the DOJ and FBI, replacing top military officials with unqualified, loyal lackeys, and the allowance of unelected billionaires to reimagine the American federal government to favor themselves at the expense of the American citizen. Perhaps his most effective weapon to win his war on democracy has been to villainize DEI initiatives, to start a culture war that pits American against American using the not at all subtle implementation of white supremacist ideologies through Project 2025. Since Trump has taken office, two of his key supporters have done the Nazi salute at public events with almost zero pushback from our elected officials. History has taught us that democracies fall when citizens remain silent out of fear for the consequences of speaking out. I will not be silent. I will not keep my head down. I will not go along to get along for fear of a fascist regime. This does not mean that I am scared. I am terrified. This is not something that I ever thought I would see in my lifetime. I am a grandmother, and my biggest desire is to spend time with my grandbabies and my family. But I cannot, I will not allow them to grow up in a society where their rights are extinguished under the fascist ambitions of a Russian puppet. Given the likelihood of my fears becoming a reality, I ask the members of the board today, what emergency steps are you taking to prepare for a future where the federal government continues its overreach? How can we ensure that our local citizens are protected from actions that could strip away our freedoms, particularly if federal actions in the coming years mirror the authoritarian tactics that we have witnessed in the last 35 days? I don't know if we are headed towards a monarchy or a fascist or authoritative government, or if historians are going to have to give this a new name. The only thing I do know is that this is not American. To Sage and Ruby and the rest of my family, I love you and I will always fight for you. And to the board, it's time to make the chimmy fucking chongas and join the fight. Thank you.
Margaret Cashin, followed by Karen Reich.
Thank you. Here to advocate for better animal welfare. Thank you, Board of Supervisors and Department of Public Health, for the improvements made in the last year to animal welfare in the county. This does not go unnoticed. We appreciate all your efforts and the Department of Public Health's efforts. There is a term called managed intake. This policy started September 1st, 2024. My understanding of what the policy change means is limit the cats accepted into the shelter. Advocates are in favor of this. There are nuances, however, and we would ask that this policy be tweaked or adjusted as necessary to make sure the shelter is still providing a service to residents and constituents. Denying entry means less cats, which means less staff and resources needed, which means less euthanasia and the numbers go down, which means the shelter may qualify for grants. The problem is if residents are feeling they have no resource in case of an emergency, people may not be able to rehome their cat on their own, or a cat in a hostile situation needs a place to go. Managed intake should not mean deny entry and not serve the general public. Other comments. Please note there seems to be quite a few cats coming into the City of San Bernardino Animal Shelter that are being shot at with BB guns. Animal abuse like this is a crime and would like to make people aware this is consistently happening in the City of San Bernardino. At some point in time, would be curious what the design plans are for the Bloomington shelter, which is scheduled to be built in 2026. Many shelters don't take sound into account. For example, Apple Valley Animal Shelter, Castaic Shelter, Lacey Street Shelter in Los Angeles are all incredibly loud. The decibel level for dogs barking is extremely high. It's not a comfortable environment for employees or adopters. One shelter to note, South LA Animal Shelter has specific rooms for cats that have sound insulation or sound deadening features that provides a better experience. So I know somehow the shelter in Bloomington is in the works, just to put that out there. Also, it seems within the last year, the county allotted $45 million for the Bloomington shelter construction. Is it totally unreasonable to ask that perhaps $500,000 of that be moved towards increasing funds for TNVR, trap, neuter, vaccinate, and release programs, and free spay and neuter, or at least subsidized spay and neuter? By doing this, it will have a larger impact on the overpopulation of cats. Tripling, perhaps, the amount of free or subsidized spay and neuter appointments will make bigger impacts in the coming years. Lastly, would like to note that Apple Valley Animal Shelter is one of the few, or maybe the only shelter in Southern California that does not
That's time.
Thank you very much. Karen Reich, followed by Terry Lewis.
Hello. Hi. Nancy, the unlimited power of Child Protective Services. Nancy Schaefer served in the Georgia State Senate, and after 40 years of viewing ruthless and unsparing actions of Child Protective Services, also called CPS, which I will use today, Nancy wrote a scathing report called The Corrupt Business of Child Protective Services. The report cost her Senate seat. However, she says there are causes worth losing over, and this is one. This is not to say that there are not those children in wretched situations who need to be removed. There are, and we would all agree. But today I'm talking about those children removed from their homes intentionally for profit. Children are seized from their families due to the federal aid, entitled the Safe Adoption Act, Families Act of 1997. It offers financial incentives to the states that increase adoption numbers. To receive the adoption incentive, local CPS offices must have more children. They must have more merchandise to sell. Funding is available when a child is placed in foster home with strangers or placed in a mental health facility medicated. Parents are victimized by the system that makes a profit for holding children longer and bonuses for not returning children to their parents. This is abuse of power. It is lack of accountability. It is a growing criminal political phenomenon spreading around the globe. Oftentimes, poor parents are targeted because they do not have the wherewithal to hire an attorney or fight the system. CPS has redefined poor to mean psychologically inferior. Best interest, of course, has also been redefined at the children's expense. It has been reported over and over that 6 times as more children die in foster homes than in the general public. Once a child is legally kidnapped and placed in official safety, the child is far more likely to suffer abuse, including sexual molestation and or rape. Caseworkers and social workers are often guilty of fraud, withhold and destroy evidence, and they seek wrongly to terminate parental rights while being protected by state immunity. There is a huge bureaucracy made up of judges, court-appointed attorneys, guardian ad litems, social workers, state employees, psychologists, psychiatrists, foster parents, adoptive parents, and on, all looking to the children in state care for job security. Okay, that money, $40 billion is under the direction and control of family court judges in environments covered in confidentiality laws that protect the wrong people. Okay, rights are removed
That's
from...
time.
Thank you. Terry Lewis. Terry Lewis, who will be followed by Mohammed Al-Muazzin.
Right here.
Go.
Right here. Rights.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue. Rights are removed from parents. Separation of families and snatching of children grows as state and local governments have grown accustomed to having these taxpayer dollars to balance their ever-growing budgets. It is even being advertised now through the foster homes that you can pay your mortgage with a foster child. All are looking to the children in the state care for job security. In order to receive adoption incentive bonuses, local CPS agencies would need more children. They must have plenty so the buyer can choose. Some counties offer $4,000 to $6,000 bonuses for a child adopted out to strangers and an additional $2,000 to $3,000 for a special needs child. Employees work hard to keep the federal dollars flowing. That is only the beginning figure in the formula in which each bonus is multiplied by the percentage that the state has managed to exceed its baseline adoption number. Therefore, state and local communities work hard to reach their goals to increase numbers of adoptions for children in foster care. As you can see, this program is offered from the very top and is run by Health and Human Resources. That is why victims in CPS cases get no help from legislators. It explains why Nancy Schaefer's Bill 415 suffered such defeat in the Judicial Committee and why she herself was cut off at every juncture, and she was defeated for her reelection by another Republican. Tax dollars are being used to keep this gigantic system afloat, and many grandparents called Nancy for help to get custody of their grandchildren before being lost in this system forever. Grandparents lose their grandchildren to strangers. They lose their own flesh and blood. The children lose their family heritage, and grandparents and parents too lose the connection of their heirs. Here are some recommendations to help get this program pointed in the right direction. Number one, abolish the federal and state financial incentives that had turned CPS into a business that separates families for money. Number two, federal congressional hearings on CPS services. 3, independent audit of all state child protective services. 4, open dependency court proceedings to the public, thus revising confidentiality and privacy laws, which only protect the wrong people. Number 5, make laws that require a judge and jury to remove children from their homes and families, not just overreaching social workers who, for whatever reason, will lie to remove the children, lie to judges to obtain warrants, and lie to courts in their reports to justify the removal of children. I've seen it myself in a 10-minute hearing, and then they all vote bypass like it's, what are we going to have for lunch? It's horrible. Number 6, implement programs within the CPS system that is designed to help parents and families with what they need to keep children in the home and with their families, like the WIC codes say they're supposed to. They're supposed to place children with family members. They're not doing that at all. Everyone I spoke to, it depends.
Thank you. The last request to speak that I have is from Mohammed Al-Muazzin.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed Al-Muazzin. I am here on behalf of the Office of Senator Adam Schiff. Just wanted to introduce myself. Pretty much my only purpose here. I'm going to be the field representative that is overseeing San Bernardino County, Riverside County, as well as surrounding areas. So just wanted to introduce myself and hopefully have already reached out to a lot of your offices. I've spoken with one of the staffers from Colonel Cook's office, as well as Chair Rowe. I believe I have a call with you on Friday, so very excited for that. And just in general, just wanted to say that I myself am here and happy to help with any kind of resources that may be needed, any kind of constituent casework, any issues with the federal government that may be needed. And to add on to that, as a very, very proud son of the IE myself, very, very excited to try and form as many connections, connect with the community, connect with businesses, with organizations, with local leaders, and with anybody else who would like to get connected with the office. So thank you so much for all of the work that you do, and looking forward to having an opportunity to speak with each of your offices. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, our meeting stands adjourned. Our next regularly scheduled Board of Supervisors meeting will be here in chambers at 10 a.m. on March 11. Thank you all.